Next time we're going to talk about Wishmaster 2, Evil Never Dies. When I watched it in university, I remember thinking it was the best one, and I'm eager to see how it holds up. After having just rewatched the first one, I would be shocked if the second one is actually better. I probably just had shitty taste in my 20s. Hello, Scaredy Cats, it's me, Scaredy Matt. Well, I can now confirm that Wishmaster 2, Evil Never Dies, is not as good as Wishmaster 1. It, in fact, deadass sucks. It is a very bad movie with almost no redeeming features. No more cameos from horror legends, no more funny background characters, no more inventive special effects. Just compare this, that rules, to this. What the fuck is that? All of that is replaced with a lot of sulking from the new protagonists and a love story with the least chemistry you can imagine. Just look at these two numbnuts.
Thanks. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but you've got to avoid Demarest at all costs.
Yeah, well, that may not be possible.
Can you feel the heat? Because I want to put on a sweater. You could put me in this movie, put me as either the man or the woman, and I would have more chemistry with either of those actors. This whole movie is just super cheap and rinky-dink. Turns out, it was made for TV. But they did one thing right. They gave a lot more screen time to my main man, Andrew Divoff, which is the most important thing you gotta do in a Wishmaster movie. Just make the camera look at him and then make him say stuff. That's all you need. And naturally, he chews this movie the fuck up. Get used to this smug grin, because you're going to be seeing it a lot. Divoff was having a lot of fun in the first movie, but in this movie, the Djinn himself is having a lot of fun. The Djinn is enjoying his antics as much as we're enjoying watching them, and that, at least, rules. That's very fun to watch. The rest of the movie, though, oof. Ugh, no. I think this is the first time I've covered a movie I genuinely dislike on Scaredy Cats, so that's going to be a fun energy. The movie begins on a statue that is supposed to be the statue from the first movie, even though it doesn't look the same, and also it shouldn't be in this museum or art gallery or whatever. It should be at Freddy Krueger's house because the timeline got reset in the first movie, but whatever! Nothing makes any sense! Some Grim Reapers are robbing the place to get the paintings that apparently no one put under glass. They just left them in open air, and also the paintings are in the same exhibit and the same room as the statue of an ancient Persian god in the fiction of the movie, but in real life is actually a current god for a lot of people. But okay, fine, sure. Just go with it. A security guard comes in, guns blazing. He shoots one of the robbers. The other one shoots him. Turns out they're not Grim Reapers, they're Molgoths. The female Molgoth, our new protagonist, Morgana, runs away heroically. And then the Djinn comes out as some goo, but instead of being a Vern Troyer Djinn this time, he's a basket case. Crossover of the century! The other robber, whose name is Josh or Joel or Dave or some shit, wishes he was never born for some reason. And so what the Djinn does is, how he fulfills that wish is that that makes the guy age backwards and disappear, which that's not how he was. That's not what he wished for, and it's not a good effect. I don't know why they put this in. So some cop shows up, and one of the cops tells the Wishmaster to freeze. So guess what he does? He freezes the guy. You might expect him to then knock him over, and then he shatters. You know, that would be fun to watch, but no. No, he just freezes him. What the fuck is the point? So they arrest the Djinn. Sorry. They arrest his human alter ego, Nathaniel Devereaux.
Nathaniel Demarest pleaded guilty this morning to charges that he robbed the Saram Art Gallery and murdered 2 security guards.
Sorry, Demarest? What the fuck? This is a Mandela effect because I'm certain I checked this for the last movie and his name was Nathaniel Devereaux. I spent this whole movie saying, why'd they change the Wishmaster's name? Turns out, nope, it's always been Nathaniel Demarest. Or more likely, perhaps, the Wishmaster is real, and someone out there made a very frivolous wish to make me look foolish. Also, how did he turn into Nathaniel when he couldn't get his face because the timeline was reset in the first movie? He had to steal people's faces to turn into them. That was the thing they established. He can't just do magic. He needs to grant wishes. But fine, whatever. Maybe someone off screen was like, yo, dude, I wish you looked like Andrew Divoff. And he was like, as you wish. Anyhow, prison is full of what I like to call wish bait. people who see the Wishmaster very clearly killing people with wishes, and they say to themselves, well, that looks good to me, free wishes, and all you gotta do is die gruesomely. He even tells them to their face he's gonna steal their souls and torture them for eternity, and they're like, yeah, sure, whatever, you're probably the devil, can I have a taco? This guy wishes for his lawyer to go fuck himself. What follows defies description.
Okay, now we were talking. What the fuck are you doing, man?
The mechanics of this scene have haunted me for a decade and a half. We need to unpack it. We can't leave this hanging in the air. So skip to the time code on screen now if, for some unfathomable reason, you don't want to hear me puzzle this out. How does the man do this? Does he twist in the center? And if so, how does his wangus end up on the opposite side of his body as his dangus? Is he like bisected down the middle vertically and his front kind of flaps over to the back? Because if so, why do his legs do that? Does the man nut? His clothes don't come off. Is all of this happening within his pants somehow? And all of this is assuming penetrative sex, because the only thing that makes sense to me is that his hog kind of bends backwards in like a macaroni shape and goes in. But that doesn't seem like it would kill him. I mean, it wouldn't be great for him. He might not like it, but that doesn't seem lethal. It might rip your hog off, and maybe you could bleed to death. I don't know. Seems like you could get him to a hospital. He'd be fine. Perhaps this is some other kind of sex act that I'm as of yet unfamiliar with. Please speculate in the comments so that this video will be demonetized forever. Anywho, that's the high watermark of this franchise. It will never be this good again. Hope you enjoyed it. While the Wishmaster is making a guy get kung fu kicked, the thing is, he wished to get wasted, and then he conveniently rephrased that in some very violent ways that the djinn really could have ran with, had a great time, but instead, what he chooses to do is have him get kicked a lot.
I want your drugs.
Exactly. Which drugs would you like?
I don't give a damn. I just want to get wasted.
Wasted.
Wasted? Fucked up. Tore up from the floor up. Stomped right into the ground. Wasted.
Careful what you wish for, brother.
But while all of this is happening, Morgana is having a crisis of conscience because she shot a security guard or some shit and he had a family or whatever. But she's also having djinn dreams. So she goes to an ambiguously denominational Christian church. I think it's supposed to be Catholic, but if it is, oof! They did a bad job. They do not know what Catholics do or believe. In the church is her ex-flame, a priest named Greg, I think. I'm not gonna look it up, fuck this movie. He doesn't like her, and he tells her to go away, and she's like, yo, my boyfriend is dead, and he's like, tight, that guy sucked. Where is a woman to turn now except to WebZap Services Incorporated? This movie was made in 1999, but just so you know, I was on the internet in 1999, and that still would have been silly even back then. Then the priest comes by her enormous apartment, and this is her doorbell.
Who is it?
That's a school bell. You used the wrong sound effect. You did a bad job. I understand not knowing about ancient Persian mythology. To some degree, I understand not knowing about Catholicism. But how did no one making this know what a doorbell sounds like? Anyway, Greg is back and he's like, yo, sorry I said it was tight when your boyfriend died. And now Morgana is in love with Greg because that's all it takes. And she tells him about the spooky man who took credit for all of her crimes and then decides that she has to go visit the spooky man. Wishmaster's like, yo, Morgana, what's up? And she's like, how did you know my name? And he's like, we're connected. I know everything about you. And okay, in the previous movie, the Wishmaster spent the whole time searching for Alexandra. That was his main thing. That was what he was doing the whole movie. But in this one, he knows everything about Morgana. He can just go to her whenever. But he doesn't because, you see, he has to get 1,000 souls before the main lady makes 3 wishes because 1,000, you see, is the Assyrian number for the apocalypse. And just fine, whatever. Fucking, he didn't do that in the first movie. Maybe he did and they just didn't show it. I don't know. Who cares? So Wisho is hanging out with this asshole and he's like, please give me 2 wishes. And Wisho's like, can't, sorry, it's the rules. Is it the rules, Wishmaster? Because it wasn't in the previous movie when you very clearly granted multiple wishes to multiple people. Also in the previous movie, you were bound to do anything they asked you to do. That counted as their wish. In this movie, he can be like, nah, wish better. Do a better wish that's more convenient for me, the Wishmaster.
I want you to leave.
No. No. I have to get inside.
Those are nice shoes you got there. What are they? Some kind of English shit? Take them off. Take the fucking shoes off, or you're gonna
Like you. You're a powerful man.
No.
Don't you waste your power. I'm giving you the chance to wish for anything you like. Anything in the world. You can do better than a pair of shoes.
Anyway, a crooked guard hates the Wishmaster for some reason and locks him in the hole for a week. In real life, solitary confinement is extreme torture, but it's better than being trapped inside a gem that was forged by a blacksmith, which, again, is not how gems work. So Morgana and Greg find the prophecy, and it turns out that the only way to kill the Wishmaster is to be pure. Only one problem: Morgana is a Molgoth. So in a montage, Morgana makes herself more boring and cuts off her pinky finger for some reason, and that makes her pure again. Do you think, Wishmaster, that's the thing Catholics do? Anywho, Wisho steals the body of the guard, breaks out of prison with his Russian pal, and then they take over the Russian mob. Luckily, Greg the priest happened to know the Russian murderer and mobster and the clubs he goes to for some reason, so Morgana shows up and shoots Wisho. He's fine though, obviously, can't just shoot Wishmaster. So Morgana leaves, and the Russian dude sends Wisho away to a place where he can get all sorts of tasty wishes. We're left in suspense as to where that might be. Then Greg and Morgana go back to the Russian club. The Russian guy realizes he fucked up real bad and tries to kill Morgana so she can't make her wishes and doom the world. It does not work. She is immortal for the time being. Russian guy will not snitch on Wishmaster because snitches get wishes. Turns out, Wisho is at a casino in Vegas. That's fun! In theory, the floor manager or whatever says, we wish all of our customers the best of luck. And Wishmaster's like, oh, buddy. Oh, man, I'm so glad you said that. That's going to be real good for me. So everybody wins. Haha, got him. Everybody is winning in the casino. Good evil magic, Wishmaster. But just when it seems like everybody's having too good a time, Wishmaster starts sucking up all the souls he collected into his tummy. Real up and down day at this casino. Then Morgana gets a phone call from Russian man saying where to meet the Wishmaster, and she gets a ticket for Greg as well. Turns out it's Wisho. He was pretending to be the Russian guy, and he had to do that because... So they go, but it turns out that they know the secret password that sends the djinn back into the gem. It's Nib Shugarath Bahim. Grego goes with plan A, grabs the gem, says the magic words, nothing happens. So Greg goes with plan B and tells Wisho to go to hell. So what he does is, how the Wishmaster grants that wish, you see, is that he sucks Greg and Morgana inside the opal and then crucifies Greg, which none of that at all related to what he wished for, but fine. Wishmaster figures that Morgana won't make any wishes because the gem is too much of a bummer and not a wish-inducing environment. So they go back to the casino and he goads the floor manager into wishing for a bad casino. Then the casino starts killing everybody in ways that I remembered being a lot more interesting than they are. Then Morgana has an idea. Turns out that the reason the magic words didn't work is because she's not pure enough. So she wishes the guy she killed came back to life, and the Wishmaster chooses to grant that in the most normal and not evil way for some reason, kind of out of character. I would have made him come back as a zombie or something, and that makes her pure enough to use the magic words to suck him back in the gem. Probably should have seen that one coming, Wisho. It also sets free all the souls in his tummy, which frees Greg, and then we get one extremely awkward shot of the djinn inside the fire opal. Mercifully, the movie is now over. Oh boy, what a waste of time. I had more fun going back to the original Wishmaster to check to see if the alchemist actually said Nib Shugarath Bahim, because he did. And in the brief like 2 minutes I watched of the movie to see that is better than all of Wishmaster 2 combined. I just wish that they had another chance to make a Wishmaster sequel that really lived up to the first one.
As you wish.
Oh, there is another one. Next time, we're going to look at Wishmaster 3, Beyond the Gates of Hell. Spoiler alert, that movie doesn't have Andrew Divoff in it, so I'm going to be real angry the whole time. Thank you for watching this video on Wishmaster 2, Evil Never Dies, the only horror movie I've covered on this channel so far that I own on VHS. Probably the only one I ever will cover, unless I want to cover the Star Wars trilogy or Alpha's Magical Christmas. I think it would be a good idea for you to hit the like button and also to subscribe to Scaredy Cats for more of this beautiful, delicious content that I put out here. Who will fulfill the prophecy? Everybody wants something. All he wants is your soul. When seductive young thief, Morgana, unknowingly awakens an ancient terror, she sets into motion a horrifying campaign of supernatural proportions. After an art heist goes awry, the demonic entity known as the Jinn is released into the world. His sinister goal is to collect 1,001 human souls in order to unleash eternal darkness and misery upon the world. That's not what he wants. He wants to set all the Jinns free so the Jinns can rule the world. They would do that, but that's not what he wants. In this ghastly pursuit, the Jinn takes mortal form and finds an overabundance of souls in 2 places ripe with human desperation, prison and Las Vegas. He tricks Morgana and her ex-boyfriend turned priest to follow him to Sin City, where his evil plan is already well underway and where the ultimate showdown between good and evil comes to an explosively deadly finale. It's approximately an hour and 36 minutes. It's rated 18A, the Canadian equivalent of an R rating. It's hi-fi stereo. Evil has been summoned. Again. That's not a compelling tagline, but to be fair, it's not a compelling movie.